Hi everyone, welcome back to Wrestling Fun with Father and Son. I'm Father Matt and Son,
Hi.
and this is our AEW's Explosive Elite Review. Yep, AEW 6th of the 4th, 2020. It's a little bit different than what it's been over the last few weeks. They've been taped in a gym. This time they're back in that Daily's Place arena type thing in Jacksonville. JR and Excalibur were back on the commentary as well. He made a reference to that they're doing testing and they're doing adherence to social distancing, but I will get back to that at the end. Started off with a Joey Janela versus Cody. I thought this was a fairly good match. I thought this was really okay. I'm not really too big a fan of Joey Janela, but I thought this was okay for what they'd done. Cody got the win. Next we had Nyla Rose versus a jobber, which Nyla Rose won. So there's a few returning superstars as well this time. We had Frankie Kazarian versus John Moxley. I put it was a hard fought match. This was a quite good match for what it was. Moxley ended up getting the win. After the match, who came out?
The Dark Order.
Yep, the Dark Order came out and attacked John Moxley, beat him down. SCU, or the rest of the members of SCU did come out to try and save, but they got overwhelmed by the Dark Order. Only for Brody Lee to come out and basically do what? What did he do? What did he say? He challenged Moxley to a
title match at Double or Nothing.
Yep, that's right. And he obviously challenged him. A little bit of reference to WWE without saying it about, you know, I'm a different person to the person you used to look at when we used to cross paths. At the end of it, Moxley basically had the microphone. He was laying on, basically laying on the mat, all beat up and that. And he basically said, if you wanted a title shot, you should have just asked. So they did accept that. And later on, they did show the graphic for Double or Nothing. There was another match with QT Marshall versus Archer. QT had Brandy Rhodes with him. Archer had Jake the Snake again with him. To be fair, didn't think it was going to be much of a match. It was going to be a squash match, which is what it was. Archer got the win. After the match, Britt Baker, who was in the crowd, there was a moment during the match where she was hitting QT Marshall with her shoe. They're doing that sort of gimmick with the shoe. Brandy Rhodes nicked a shoe, threw it into the crowd, so they had a bit of bad blood then during the match. After the match, Britt Baker then attacked Brandy Rhodes, threw her into the ring, only for then Jake the Snake to do what? What did he do?
He brought out a snake.
Yep, and he laid it all over her, and that was the end of that. I will go through some of the vignettes, because there are vignettes attached to these little bits. I'll go through them in a bit. And then the main event, which was Jericho and Sammy Guevara, the Sex Gods versus Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy. This was a Street Fight No DQ match, which came into quite spectacular fashion. I thought they used it quite well. Jericho came up with a baseball bat. There was a little bit during the match. I don't want to go through too many details because so much, and it was such a good match. And again, with these type of matches, I always recommend that people go and watch them because they are worth your time watching it. They did do a weird thing with Matt Hardy where he sort of get taken out and then he changed into different sort of different elements of his career, which I thought was a bit strange. I don't know if it really worked or not. I wasn't really that big a fan of it. I thought they just suspended the disbelief a little bit. A ladder and a table at one point in the ring, didn't they? And they put Sammy Guevara on the table and Matt Hardy jumped, splashed through him. They fought through to the sort of big stadium arena area because obviously Daily's Place is Jacksonville, where the Jackson Jaguars, they play in the stadium right literally next door. So they sort of fought through. That was quite a hard fought bit. Sammy Guevara took a wicked bump off a sort of golf cart truck thingy. Matt Hardy at one point got dumped into an ice sort of cooler thing. He ended up changing again his sort of form. He got into his golf cart, he drove that, he went straight into Jericho, he turned it around with Kenny Omega in it, because Kenny Omega got in it, he turned it around, he smashed into Sammy Guevara, and it was a wicked, it looked like he broke something, to be fair, it looked like he broke his ribs, but in the end, it looked like Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy had the upper hand. Obviously Jake Hager was involved in it as well, because it was no DQ, but out of nowhere, who appeared?
Santana Ortiz.
Yep, they came from out of nowhere, hadn't seen them for a while, and basically the numbers overthrew Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy, and the Inner Circle ended up getting the win. But I don't want to really go through too much of it because I recommend you go see it because it was a really good match. I think AEW are thriving with this sort of situation, as bad as it is. I think they're doing the better shows. I'm more invested in them, and I think they're doing really, really well. That being said, they did say about social distancing, and when they're brawling into the big arena, everyone's sort of piled out of the arena into this little backstage area, and they're all standing next to each other, so they're not adhering to social distancing. Then there were a lot of people wearing masks, but and they did say they'd all been tested, so you have to take their word for it. But I would have liked it to have been a little bit more distanced. Just from my point of view, just because there are people out there who will now bash AEW about that, and they will say, well, they're not doing this and they're not doing that, and they're not, they're not adhering to the rules or what, and I want AEW to sort of thrive. I want them to continue growing, and I think that's bad publicity, and the fans are going to troll them, or their detractors are going to troll them, shall I say. So I'm a little bit frustrated by that. But overall, I thought it was a really good show. I really enjoyed that match. That end and that main event was a really good match. Obviously, Double or Nothing looks like it's going to be out behind closed doors. They're doing new T-shirts. I think the T-shirt says, I sat at home and watched Double or Nothing. I don't know if that's right. I might be misquoted there, but I think that's something like that. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be an interesting pay-per-view. Like I say, I enjoyed it. What did you think of this week's AEW? Did you enjoy it? Yep. We'll quickly go through the vignettes. First of all, there's an MJF where he's saying basically he's the guy, and he's got 100%. He'll be back next week doing the action. They did do a little bit of interview at ringside where they announced that it's going to be MJF versus
Jungle Boy.
Yep, at Double or Nothing. They did a Sean Spears saying about Cody Rhodes and Dustin, how he had a brother and he would have thrown in the towel, but Cody didn't for Dustin, and that sort of thing. And then we had a Brandy Rhodes talking about Jake the Snake and Lance Archer, about all these different things he keeps calling her a bit disrespectful, and about how she doesn't want her name in his mouth anymore. And to be fair, I thought that was a really good promo. I think she don't get enough credit really for her promo skills, and I think that was a really good one. Anyway, the video's gone on long enough, so if you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video, which will probably be Money in the Bank's reactions. Just to put it out there, we did actually do a predictions, didn't we, Kai? And that's up on the channel. The link will be at the end of this video. So I'll say goodbye, and say goodbye, Kai.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.